There's a reason so many people feel like they're drifting. It's not because they're lazy or lost. It's because no one ever told them the truth. Meaning isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you take responsibility for, piece by piece, weight by weight. Radical self-responsibility isn't a trendy phrase. It's the foundation of a meaningful life. Most people want to skip to the good part, the love, the freedom, the peace, without realizing that all of it is built on the uncomfortable ground of responsibility. Jordan Peterson said it best. Most people find the meaning in their life through responsibility, not comfort, not aesthetics, not avoidance, but by choosing to carry something that matters. And yet this is exactly what culture avoids. We want hacks, shortcuts, quick wins, but no one tells you the truth. Take ownership of your life, or someone else will. Every day you avoid responsibility, you surrender authorship of your story. Responsibility feels heavy at first. You'll resist it. You'll rationalize. You'll say, I'm too tired. I'm too broken. It's not fair. But behind every one of those reasons is the real fear, that if you really tried, you'd have to give up your favorite lie, that you're helpless. Responsibility demands more than effort. It demands identity. It requires looking in the mirror and saying, this is mine to fix. Not because you caused the mess, but because it's still yours to clean up. Start small, clean your room, tell the truth, make the call. Start anywhere, but start. Peterson tells the story of patients who enter therapy blaming their families, their childhoods, their jobs. But nothing changes until they stop pointing and start choosing. That's where growth begins. Don't blame, build. Build with what you have. Build even when it hurts. Build when it's unfair. That's not punishment. That's the process. The wait is part of your transformation. You want to grow through hardship? Then stop waiting for the hardship to pass. Face it. Use it. Suffering with purpose is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's saying, I won't let this break me. I'll let it shape me. It's easy to stay in the loop, to numb, to scroll, to blame your ex, your job, your past. But you already know, that story ends the same way every time, empty. Taking radical self-responsibility means rewriting that story. It means saying, this is where I am, this is what I've done, and this is what I'll do next. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be honest. That's where real confrontation begins, not just with others, but with yourself. The first time you do this, it'll hurt. You'll feel raw, alone, maybe ashamed, but stay. Because on the other side of that pain is a strength that doesn't come from applause. It comes from finally facing yourself and not running this time. Inner accountability is quiet. It doesn't explain itself. It shows up day after day with the willingness to begin again. Struggle uphill, say what matters, clean your room, take ownership. Stop blaming, start building, repeat. You're not too late, you're not too broken. You're just untrained in responsibility, but that can change. Today, ask yourself, am I living or just surviving? And if the answer hurts, good. That's where the work begins. Here's what no one tells you. Life is brutal. Face it, not as punishment, as reality. Pretending otherwise only makes you weaker. The people who grow are the ones who stop expecting life to be soft. They stop bargaining with fate and start building with what they've got. When you take ownership of your life, you stop waiting for ease. You choose structure, values, self-respect over approval. That's radical self-responsibility in its rawest form. Most people think they're being kind by staying silent. But silence can be a lie. And when you lie to avoid discomfort, you bury your truth beneath someone else's comfort zone. Don't blame, build. Say it again, let it echo in your choices. Even if the bricks are cracked, even if the blueprint is unclear, you build anyway. That's what it means to grow through hardship. One honest step at a time. If your life feels meaningless, don't scroll it away. Look inward. Ask what you've avoided. Ask what weight you've refused to carry. And then pick it up. Responsibility is the path. Meaning is the result. And that meaning, it's been waiting for you, right beneath the weight you feared the most. Life doesn't warn you. It just arrives with the grief, the burden, the unexpected change. You wake up one morning and the rules have changed. You're responsible for things you didn't ask for. You're carrying burdens you didn't create, and no one is coming to fix it. This is the moment people get stuck. The pain feels unfair, so they search for someone to blame. But blame doesn't build futures. it only rehearses wounds. The radical shift? Repurpose your pain. Don't curse the weight. Carry it. Not because it's fair, but because you are strong enough to build something sacred with it. Struggle uphill. That's not failure. That's spiritual muscle. Growth is found not in ease, but in effort, in the daily decision to show up, even when your knees shake. Suffering with purpose is how humans transcend pain. Real healing? It doesn't start with ease. It starts with ownership. Take ownership of everything. Your wins, your wounds, your bitterness, your blind spots, even the parts you want to disown, especially those, because until you do, someone else will always be to blame. And you'll stay stuck. This is where the spiral ends. When you face the brutal truth, no one owes you healing, but you still deserve it, and you can create it if you choose responsibility over resentment. Clean your room. Begin where you are. Take a walk. Speak the apology. Make the plan. Don't wait to feel ready. Act. Because radical self-responsibility doesn't live in thoughts. It lives in action. The world doesn't reward blame. It rewards builders. So build, with scars, with limits, while afraid, because what you're building isn't just a future. It's a self you can respect. You don't have to like this truth, but if you want freedom, you'll have to face it. The only way out is through. And every time you choose responsibility, you become more of who you were meant to be. Inner accountability doesn't mean beating yourself up. It means owning your decisions, even the ones that hurt you, so you can choose differently next time. Grow through hardship, especially the kind that keeps circling back because you refuse to learn from it. Especially the moments that ask, bitter or better? No one else lives your life. No one else carries your thoughts at 3 a.m. You do. So if you want peace, real peace, it begins with one choice: radical self-responsibility. It's not a punishment, it's a path, and it leads to who you were meant to be. There's a moment everyone faces, that tightening in your chest before saying something real, the fear your words will land wrong, that honesty might cost you connection. So most people stay silent, but silence isn't safety, it's self-abandonment. You can't live a meaningful life while constantly editing yourself. You can't speak truth while fearing every possible reaction. If you want to grow through hardship, the emotional kind, you must practice honest confrontation. That means saying what matters, even when it's uncomfortable. Radical self-responsibility doesn't just show up in actions. It shows up in speech, in choosing to be real rather than likable, in choosing truth over approval. That's the cost of authenticity and the price of freedom. Jordan Peterson speaks to this often, the comedian who stopped performing on campuses, not because his jokes changed, but because the room became too sensitive. That's not progress, that's paralysis. Meaning, through responsibility, includes being responsible for your words and accepting that some will misunderstand them. That's okay. Radical self-responsibility means owning your intent, not controlling their reaction. When you speak with integrity, not cruelty, with clarity, not aggression, you model what inner strength looks like. Courage isn't loud, it's deliberate. We've been taught that kindness means silence, but silence lets the lie grow, and lies, even polite ones, erode your soul. So say what hurts, say what's true, say what no one else will, not for attention, but for alignment. You can't grow in hiding. You can't evolve by erasing yourself. Growth is messy, emotional, loud, and it often begins with a sentence that feels dangerous to say. Want to reclaim yourself? Speak. The first time will shake you. The second will liberate you. By the third, you'll realize truth wasn't the enemy, fear was. Honest confrontation doesn't destroy relationships. It purifies them. You'll know who's real, who can hold discomfort, who can love you through truth. You don't have to scream, you don't have to fight, but you do have to stop lying, especially the polite lies that protect everyone but you. Take ownership of your life. That includes your voice, your no, your boundaries, your unsaid thoughts. Speak them, not recklessly, but consciously. Because every time you don't, you teach yourself. My truth doesn't matter. Grow through hardship, especially the kind that says, I'd rather lose them than lose myself. Inner accountability is saying, if I'm misunderstood for being honest, I can live with that. But I can't live with pretending. Don't perform, don't edit, don't shrink. Your voice matters, not because it's perfect, but because it's real. And in a world that punishes truth, the bravest thing you can do is say it anyway. It's tempting to think silence protects you, but struggle is guaranteed. You just get to choose the type. Uphill with purpose or downhill in regret. Struggle uphill. Through shaky conversations, failed attempts, awkward truths. That's how you build inner strength. And if you fall with your voice intact. Life is brutal, face it. Face rejection, face misunderstanding, face the discomfort of being seen fully. That's how you stop surviving and start living. Don't blame, build, especially when your voice trembles, especially when silence feels safer. Don't choose silence over self. And when it all feels too heavy, start simple. Clean your room. That one act of reclaiming your space tells your nervous system, my voice deserves a place too. Suffering with purpose is resilience. When you speak, even in pain, suffering transforms. It becomes story, it becomes strength, it becomes something useful. Most people delay discomfort thinking it's mercy, but it's not. It's just delay. Truth is the only path forward. Radical self-responsibility means choosing the hard thing, not to suffer endlessly, but to live honestly. You get one life. Make it yours. Say what matters anyway. There are things you can lose quietly, a job, a plan, a friendship. Then there's what you lose slowly, invisibly, until one day you can't speak without asking for permission. Your voice, that's what's at stake. In a world of increasing control, we've accepted a dangerous idea that others get to decide what we're allowed to say, and by extension, who we're allowed to be. That's not protection. That's theft. And as Jordan Peterson warns, compelled speech is stolen identity. Radical self-responsibility means drawing the line. It means protecting your language, because language shapes your reality. It's how you name what matters. It's how you claim yourself. This isn't about politics. It's about ownership, because if you can't define your words, you can't define your world. Inner accountability isn't just about habits or goals. It's about saying, I decide how I speak. I decide who I am. You don't outsource that. You defend it. Ask yourself, if tomorrow you lost everything, would your voice survive? If you've contorted yourself to avoid conflict, the answer is terrifying. But if you've practiced truth, even when it cost you, then the core of you is intact. If you don't protect your voice, you lose more than freedom. You lose identity. Don't blame, build. Build a voice that's resilient, a self that won't collapse under critique. Build truth into your tone, even if it shakes. You get to define you. That's not just a phrase, it's a radical commitment. Struggle uphill, even in conversation, even in silence, even when your words come out messy, because silence, when forced, is submission. Meaning through responsibility includes speech, includes standing by your words, includes choosing alignment over approval. Suffering with purpose means telling the truth, even when it costs you connection. It means I'd rather be real and alone than accepted and invisible. And here's the final question. If tomorrow your speech was censored, who would you be then? The answer lies in what you choose today. You can start over, on your own terms, with your own voice. This isn't just philosophy. It's a call to live awake. From the voice of Mindset Mastery Hub, your truth, your words, your terms. Start there.